going to start reading at verse 40. For this afternoon, I'm gonna flip back and forth between reading from New King James translation. I'll read some from the Message translation. We'll go back and forth. So keep up with me. I'll try to remember to tell you which translation I'm reading from because they tend to read a little bit differently. Here in this particular passage of Luke, I'm going to read from the Message translation. So Luke chapter 8, begin reading at verse 40. When you have it, say, I have it. Some of y'all ain't got it. All right, well, listen, I'm the one with jet lag, not you. I don't know what lag you got, but it ain't jet lag. It's just, lag. It's your lunch. Got that itis done hit you. You're out there looking tight-eyed. I see you. That's all right. I'm gonna wake you up a little bit. Luke chapter 8, verse 40. I'm going to read. You can follow along with me. I'm going to read into your hearing. And it says, on his return, Jesus was welcomed by a crowd. They were all there expecting him. And a man came up, Jairus by name. He was president of the meeting place, and he fell at Jesus' feet and begged him to come to his home because his 12-year-old daughter, his only child, was dying. Jesus went with him, making his way through the pushing, jostling crowd. In the crowd that day, there was a woman who for 12 years had been afflicted with hemorrhages. She spent every penny she had on doctors, but no one had been able to help her. She slipped in from behind and touched the edge of Jesus' robe, and at that very moment, her hemorrhaging stopped. And Jesus said, who touched me? When no one stepped forward, Peter said, but Master, we've got crowds of people on our hands. Dozens have touched you. Jesus insisted, someone touched me. I felt power discharging from me. When the woman realized that she couldn't remain hidden, she knelt trembling before him. In front of all the people, she blurted out her story, why she touched him, and how at that same moment she was healed. Jesus said, daughter, you took a risk trusting me. Now you're healed and whole. Live well, live blessed. While he was still talking, someone from the leader's house came up and told him, your daughter died. No need now to bother the teacher. Jesus overheard and said, don't be upset. Just trust me and everything will be all right. Going into the house, he wouldn't let anyone enter except for Peter, John, and James and the child's parents. Everyone was crying and carrying on over her. Jesus said, don't cry. She didn't die. She's sleeping. They laughed at him. They knew she was dead. Then Jesus, gripping her hand, called, my dear child, get up. She was up in an instant, up and breathing again. He told them to give her something to eat, and her parents were ecstatic. But Jesus warned them to keep quiet. Don't tell a soul what happened in this room. As you take your seats, look at your neighbor and just tell them, wait a minute. Come on, look at the person on the other side and tell them, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I realized that something that my mother told me when I was a kid has continued to manifest itself into the latter stages of adulthood today. I have a waiting problem. I'm working on it. I'm trying. I've prayed, Brianna. I've prayed the Lord and asked him more than 3 times, Lord, if it be thy will, please remove this thorn from my flesh. And he continues to tell me his grace is sufficient. I like what I want when I want it. I don't like to wait, and there's no such thing as patiently waiting. Those two things are oxymoronic for me. Patient and waiting, to me, don't go together because I have a difficult time, Quenisha, patiently waiting. I have a difficult time waiting. Like, when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. I don't want to wait. When I want something, I want something. I don't want to wait. And then sometimes God, in His love for me, will show me the benefit of waiting. This morning, I was driving in from my house, and I have stretches of highway that are normally pretty clear. I drive this way daily, so I'm familiar with all the spots where particular law enforcement officers tend to hang out. So I had to stop, get some gas, got some gas, and was making my way here expeditiously. And I came upon a vehicle that was going too slow. There's slow and then there's too slow. Like, I can be okay with you if you're going the speed limit. But when you're not even going the speed limit, bruh, come on. I'm trying to get to the church. I got things to do. So, had a stretch. And I said, now's my time to make my move. Now's my time to just skirt, and I could have got around them in like 0.5 seconds if I chose to. My vehicle has that capacity to do so. And I'm coming, and then oncoming traffic starts to come. And I was like, not a problem, because I still had plenty of time, plenty of space, and there was a middle turn lane anyways. So it's not like it's just two lanes, and so I wouldn't have been on the opposite side of the road. So, Anisha, I could have easily skirt and went around him. He was going maybe 50, maybe, in an old country truck. I was moving faster than 50, and I had to brake and slow down, and I'm sitting behind him waiting to pass him. I'm waiting impatiently. I'm waiting because you're going too slow, bruh. I'm trying to get to the church, and I'm waiting, and traffic is coming. And the last vehicle in this line of vehicles coming towards me was a state trooper. So if I would have passed all those past this vehicle, I would have probably been moving at a pretty nice pace, and I would have ran right up on Johnny Law, moving at a very, very fast pace. So as I passed him, the Lord's like, see why I told you to wait? And I was like, so at that point in time, I was like, I'm staying behind this old country red truck until I get to where there's a 2-lane highway where I can go around him, because obviously the Lord did not want me to pass him for a reason, even though I had a problem with waiting. I know nobody in this room would have had that same issue this morning. I know that none of my people would have, you would have sat there and patiently stayed behind him. You would have, you wouldn't have flashed your lights. You wouldn't have honked your horn. You would not have zoomed around him, because you are the people of God. And the people of God know how to wait and to be patient and to be safe, because, we're on assignment and we have responsibilities and things that we should do. So I know no one in this room has a problem with waiting. Come on, look at neighbor and ask him, what would you have done? Some of you may have been signing up for a defensive driving class this afternoon. So I have a little issue with waiting. It's a problem with waiting. This word wait is a very interesting word because sometimes it's a verb, sometimes it's an intransitive verb. But it means that either it's something I have to do actively or something I do passively, but what it says is I got to do something. So naturally, wait is defined as to stay in place in expectation of. If for all my animal lovers in the room, I'll give you guys a Scooby snack real quick, because I'm not Mr. Animal Lover. But for those of you who have dogs, your dog will sit there patiently waiting for their treat. And often how you train a dog is with a treat. And so they'll sit there and you say, sit, and they're like, and they're waiting for their reward. So waiting means that I'm waiting with an expectation of receiving something. Waiting goes with expectation. I don't wait. Like, we wait for good news. We don't wait for bad news. It's an expectation. To wait means to look forward expectantly. So I'm waiting for something positive to happen. So waiting means I'm looking forward expectantly. Wait also means to be ready and available. So to wait means I'm ready and I'm available. Look at your neighbor and say, ready and available. Because some of y'all be like, I'm ready, but you ain't available. I called you. Where were you at? Oh, Pastor, or you're available, but you're not ready. That's how you end up getting left. You're available, but you didn't put your shoes on, and we're about to go. You're available, but, you ain't brushed your teeth, combed your hair. Listen, and the rule in my house is you do not come out the house looking unkept. There's a new fad that's out there. Young men, I want to help you with something. Because I consider myself to be a classic man, So I have to teach some of y'all sometimes. Just because you got the sponge, to sponge your hair, don't mean you don't brush the rest of it. So you can't sponge the top and then leave the sides and the back, looking like you got cocoa bugs. Woman of God, it does no good to put makeup on, but then you didn't brush your teeth. Saying. So you got to make sure that you're ready. So part of my waiting is I've got to make sure that I am doing something while I am waiting. This word wait is very interesting. Psalms 27:14, David says, wait on the Lord and be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. So there's something about waiting on God that strengthens me, not discourages me. There's something about waiting on God that, based upon our history, I have an expectancy. I know God's good for it. So my waiting is not in vain. My waiting is in expectation and in anticipation of God doing what he said he was going to do. I don't know exactly when, but I know he will, because he always has. See, when you got a good credit with people, your word is bond. So when you speak it, there's no doubt that you're going to do it. The question is, when you're rolling through. When are you going to do what it is that you said that you're going to do? Isaiah says it like this. He says, but those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. This word here for wait in Psalms 27 and Isaiah 40 is the word kavah. This word kavah means to wait, to hope, or to expect. It carries a sense of hopeful and expectant waiting, not just passive delay. So when I'm waiting on God, I'm not twiddling my thumbs. When I'm waiting on God. I have an expectancy. This word wait also gives the picturesque language in the Hebrew of a waiter serving tables, which means that when I'm waiting, I'm not doing anything. So you got to ask yourself, are you worrying and waiting? Or are you working and waiting? Because most of the time, you spend more time worrying and waiting, not working and waiting. If I am worrying and waiting, I won't be working. But if I'm working, I won't be worried because I don't have time to worry. Am I making sense? So am I waiting on the Lord like a servant serving a table and making sure that I'm busy being about my Father's business? Or am I sitting around with this expectation of this possibility while doing nothing? It's kind of like if there's times where I've been with my father, I've been with Apostle, and we're sitting and he's working. And so he'll ask me, he's like, you ain't got nothing to do? Like, if I'm working, you ain't got nothing to work on. So you got all the time in the world just to sit here and watch me work. So I've prepared myself to make sure that whenever I'm with him, because I never know what he wants to do. He may want me to help him with his stuff, or he may say, I'm good, which means I got to have something to do. You know, people always ask me, it's like, Pastor, everywhere do you go, you always have your backpack with you? Like, what you got in there, snacks? You know, because y'all wanted those snacks this morning for Sunday school. You know, but everywhere I go, I always have my computer with me because I never know when I have an opportunity to do some work. I take my school stuff with me everywhere I go. Why? I never know when I'm going to have a second to go read. See, I work every day to get stuff done. You're trying to find time for a break. So in my waiting, I'm working. In your waiting, you're worrying and paying attention to what everybody else got going on. You know, so instead of you working out in the gym, you watching everybody else work out. But then talking about, I don't understand why this ain't working. This ain't no magic potion. There's no, back in the day, now don't nobody do this no more because now everybody just does liposuction and all kind of other stuff. But back in the day, there was this drink called Slim Fast. Some of y'all remember Slim Fast? Yeah. Nobody take that Slim. Because you know what? Slim Fast was never Slim Fast. Slim Fast was Slim Slow. You never saw nobody, because the commercial was like, hey, drink this. And so your mind, Katie, like, listen, for this week, I'm drinking Slim Fast every day, and I'm going to be fast. I'm going to get slim, fast, and my summer body going to be all that. And you've been drinking Slim Fast for 2 months. You're not slim and fast. You ain't even slim and slow. Matter of fact, you've gained weight. So just because you are doing something, we oftentimes, especially in today's time, we want to do it now and get results immediately. What I want is do now, get results. And be like, wait. Listen, some of y'all, my Gen Z, my millennials, you would have died back in the day just popping popcorn. Because back in the day, we didn't have a microwave. You get the big black iron skillet. You put your oil in there. You get your popcorn seeds in there. You got to get something to cover it with. And you got to get it on top of the fire. And the fire is sparking all around it. And you shaking that mug up. And you got kernels popping out the side. And that was exciting. Some of y'all will burn the house down right now. Tomorrow I was trying to make some popcorn. Listen, some of y'all right now, you scared of gas stoves. You want electric only. You can't pop popcorn on no electric stove. You gotta have a fire. You got to shake it. Got the kernels popping all around. Pop, 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 pop. See, some of you guys, you ain't got patience for that. Listen, what you like to go up to the microwave, hit the word popcorn, and then you sit there and watch the popcorn pop in the microwave, and you say it's popping too slow. You sitting there, popcorn, and you watching it. 2 minutes, 30 seconds for an 8-ounce bag. That's what they told me. You go 3 minutes, you burning it. And the worst smell you can have in your house is burned popcorn. So we won't. Listen, I watch people at Starbucks at the crack house, and they be in that line. They don't be patient. I've seen people, cutting in front of people, people cutting in line, honking. It's like, they trying to get they crack. They haven't had their crack because people can't wait. So we have an issue with waiting. Look at them and say, I don't like to wait. I don't like to wait. But because I don't like to wait, oftentimes I miss out on stuff. So when we look at our text, very familiar text, I want to show you 3 different perspectives of the same text. I want to help you to understand because you had 3 different perspectives of waiting. And every perspective felt like their perspective was right. So the first perspective we have is Jairus. Jairus was a ruler of the Sanhedrin. Jairus is a person of position and power and prominence. And when you are a person of position, power, and prominence, when you ask for stuff, people chop to get it done. Because that's who you are. You have earned your position. So Jairus, the ruler of the Sanhedrin, sends word to Jesus. Hey, the little Messiah dude, wannabe Messiah dude that's been healing people, tell him I said, my daughter's dying, I need for you to come. And Jesus now begins to respond to the beckon of him to come to tend to Jairus' daughter. So Jairus now Jasmine has an expectation for Jesus to drop what he was doing and get here immediately. Because whatever else you're doing is not as important as my daughter. And this is my only daughter. And I'm a man of position, power, and prominence. So I have an expectation for God to make sure that I'm good because I'm somebody. So you have Jairus with an expectation. You have the disciples that had been waiting for such a moment to get such a call. Why? They've been out here on the Chitlin circuit dealing with all the broke folks and the poor folks. And they've been waiting for their opportunity to get the call to the big show. So the disciples, because now remember the disciples are already, TJ, asking, when at this time you're going to restore the kingdom of Israel? Listen, when you go into the kingdom, am I going to sit on your right or your left? Where are we going to be? How we rolling up in that mug? What are we going to do? What are we going to be looking like? So they were like, we've been waiting for this. Listen, I left my fishing business. I left my tax collecting business because now, oh yeah, we got the call from the big man. We're not out here with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread with these broke, hungry people. This ain't casting out demons out of people that's sitting there cutting themselves. This ain't that. We have been waiting. Jesus, let's go, player. Come on. We ain't got time to be messing around out here because there's an expectation. Jairus. So imagine you've been out here doing your thing as a leader, and the governor of the state himself, Governor Abbott, decides to call upon you. And he says, I need for you to make your way right now to the Capitol. I have need of you. Come now. You're important and you're the only one that can do this. I need you. Person of position, prominence, and power. And all your crew going to be like, what you waiting for? Oh, that's the governor. I said, oh, that's connections. Man, do you know you're going to get put on? Saying, we've been out here dealing with them. This is now your opportunity. Listen, we've been waiting for this. Jesus, let's go. So they've been waiting for the opportunity to now be called upon to go to the big time. So you got Jairus, the disciples. But then you have this woman with this flow of blood that's been waiting 12 years for her healing. 12 years. Woman of God. Woman of God. Women of God, help me. Because I don't know. I can't comprehend. I don't know. I'm a girl dad. I'm a girl granddad. I still don't know. I've never felt. I don't know. I've experienced the brunt of it, but I don't know. 12 straight, continuous. Midol ain't working. Whatever y'all take, I don't know. What y'all be taking now? Pampering? They still make pampering? Oh, I don't know. Whatever you taking, it ain't doing nothing. Man of God. You don't have to experience it directly, but you experience it indirectly because you got to deal with her for 12 years straight. Rawr! Rawr! Where DJ at? Where my dinosaur? Rawr! That's you T-Rex out there. Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. Give me some chocolate ice cream. I don't know. 12 years. 12 straight years. Non-stop every day for 12 years. Listen, woman of God, you can't go 12 days. That's almost 2 weeks. You be like, oh, the devil is a liar. I'm going to my doctor right now. Listen, she done been to doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor, spent money after money after money after money, and they said, we don't know. We can't figure it out. She's been waiting for 12 years for her miracle. She's been waiting for 12 years for her situation to be turned around. She's been waiting for 12 years to have this issue taken care of. And now she has to overcome all the cultural issues to get in position for her healing. Because according to the biblical law, a woman who was on her cycle was considered unclean and could not be around other people. And if you were unclean, you had to announce your uncleanliness by walking around, which would be completely embarrassing because everybody knew you was on your cycle. So you had to walk around with a little bell and ring and say, unclean, unclean, unclean. Could you imagine, Marissa, somebody walking past you like, she unclean. It's Levitical law. So she now has to overcome that to even get in the position to be able to touch the hem of his garment. So she's been waiting for this moment for 12 years. She's been waiting for this moment for 12 long years. And she now gets an opportunity to touch the hem of his garment, which upset the disciples because now you're making us wait longer. But for a moment, I want to talk about Jairus. Jesus, how dare you stop on your way to me to touch this Gentile woman with her issue of blood when my daughter is dying? My power, my position, and my prominence should made you expeditiously work past everybody to get to me. So, what do you do, deacons, when you've prayed and First Lady, you ask God for something and you are patient in waiting for God to do it, but then, Quenisha, then God does something for somebody else before he does it for you. Somebody less deserving. My situation, my daughter is dying. Care about her issue of blood? She's been living with it for 12 years. My daughter is dying. My 12-year-old daughter, who's been alive as long as this woman's been bleeding. And you gonna stop and heal her. The disciples, Jesus, what you doing, man? What you mean who touched you? Everybody. You tripping. We in a crowd. We bumper to bumper up in here. And you're going to ask me, who touched me? What do you mean, everybody touched you? That's like, the minute God, we've gone to UT football games. When they open the gate, everybody got to get through there. Which means everybody touching everybody. And then you talking about, hey, dog, who touched me? I don't know, one of these 100,000 people in here. I don't know. Somebody, I don't know who. And you're going to ask me who touched you. Hell, I touch you. He touched you, she touched you. We all touch you. What's the big deal? So the disciples are like, hey. You done got misfocused. Jairus called us. Jairus' daughter is dying. Why are you up here talking to this woman? What does this woman matter? See, Quincy, how do you deal with it when you've been patiently waiting for God for your breakthrough and you're watching others break through? What happens when you've been praying because you got sickness in your body and the person on your row gets healed from the exact same thing and you still struggling with it? God, how unfair. God, I've been praying for you to touch my mental health. And you're going to touch so-and-so's mental health. And they don't even come to church. They don't serve and sacrifice like I do. So based upon the fact that I'm a deacon, it seems like deacons would take precedence over the layman when it comes to the blessing order and the deliverance. Listen, I've been with pastors since the beginning. I go back pre-Blanco Vista. I was at the hotels, all of them. So it seems like if somebody around here gonna get a breakthrough, it's gonna be me. Why? I've served my time. But now I've served my time for all these years, and Aliana, who's been here for a year, done got her breakthrough. I ain't good with that. I ain't good with that. I don't, woman of God, you've been praying. You and your husband been praying 15 years to have a child, no child. 15 years, no child. You praying, no child. But the person on your row keeps spitting them out like they Beanie Babies. Like they, what's the gremlins when they got wet? You're like, how God gonna bless her womb? And my womb stayed barren, and I'm faithful to God. I'm sold out to God. I don't think that's fair. I've been struggling with an addiction for 30 years, and you struggled with it for 30 days, and God delivered you. So why am I still struggling? God, why do my prayers not come up in the order? Why does it seem like my stuff keeps getting shuffled every time I'm up next? It's like, yeah. What number? Oh, yeah. It's like going to the tax office. I have to go to the tax office, and you got to grab that number, and you look and see when your number coming up. Your number. And then it's like, ooh, I'm next. And then somebody skip your number. It's like, hey, Mr. Ma'am, listen, my number was, we have a glitch in the system. Can you grab another number? I've been sitting here patiently, and y'all been looking at me, so I've been here. Yeah, you got to follow the number system. Sir, we need you to grab a number. Okay, all right. And I go grab a number. Sit down. My number about to come up again. Skip my number again. Hey, listen, I need to talk. Where's the manager? I need to talk to someone because I'm feeling discriminated against. I think y'all trying to keep a brother down. That's what I think. I think you got a racist number system that's going on in here that is purposely skipping me. So I need to talk to someone because my number is up. Oh, we're closed for the day. Listen, I've tried to be nice all day because I'm a man of God. I've been patient. I've been here since 1 o'clock. It's 5. I done seen y'all serve everybody else. Listen, I'm letting you know right now. If you don't help me, I'm about to blow this mother up. Local pastor makes bomb threat at the city office. Could you imagine how frustrated Ralph Jarius must have been when his daughter is dying and you have the audacity to go try to heal this woman who got an issue of blood who just came up out of nowhere? Where are your armor bearers? How'd she get to touch the hem of your garment to begin with? Who's armor bearer? Who's armor bearers on duty? Peter, John, and James. Peter, John, and James. So how did they even get close? We was focused on trying to get to Jairus' house. That's all I know. Because we've been waiting. Listen, I left my fishing business. I left my family. And you said, follow you. I'm following you. And thus far, we out here doing nothing. And we now have the opportunity to be something. But instead, you want to turn around and have the audacity to ask, who touched me? Because somebody touched me and I felt virtue go out of me. Somebody touched you and power went out. It's one thing to be a disciple waiting on God to do and manifest what he said he was going to do. It's one thing to be this woman with the issue of blood who, for most parts in society, Brianna, she would be a commoner. No one of, listen, you want me to tell you how insignificant she was? What's her name? That woman. Wow, she's so insignificant, she ain't even got no name. The woman. So for history, all throughout history, she's just known as the woman with the issue of blood. We don't know who she is, but we know Jairus' his name because Jairus is a ruler. Jairus has power. Jairus has position. Jairus has promise. What must his wait have been like? The Bible, the text says that after Jesus now heals the woman, someone comes to him like, don't even come, dog. She gone. Could you imagine, parents, talk to me for a second. Could you imagine someone had the cure for your child and waited to come and your child, your baby, died? What kind of emotions do you think Jairus is feeling? I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. I'd have been hot. I would say hotter than a firecracker, but I'd be hotter than that. Because, one, I called you before you even came in contact with her. You were on your way to me and you stopped. I don't have the patience when, I can call somebody and ask them to do something for me. And be like, hey, can you meet me over here such and such? Right now. I'm on my way, Pastor. Okay, all right. And then I get there. I'm waiting. Hey, where you at? I'm on my way. Where are you? Because you were supposed to meet me here, not me beat you here. So what's up? Oh, Pastor, listen. I had to stop right quick. I was hungry. So you're telling me that your stomach took precedence over my authority and your supposed love for me and your obedience to me. Instead, you chose to stop and get you a chili hot dog from 7-Eleven. And I'm like, you stop where? Yeah, man of God, I was just trying to get something real quick because I know when I get with you, you don't be eating. So I'll try to make sure I just grab something real quick. Okay, but it was a time-sensitive matter, and I needed something by X time, and you weren't here in position to help me, so therefore I couldn't do what I needed to do. Thank you, but no thanks. What do you do when you are, Kadeem, you're somebody, and you're asking for things to be done, and TJ, he has the audacity to stop and allow himself to be stopped to deal with this woman, and because you delayed, my daughter's dead. If you would have came when I told you to come, my daughter would still be alive. Carpenter man. Because now your position, prominence, and power didn't change the situation. So what do you do when you think you've earned the right for God to do something for you and he doesn't do it when you want him to do it? He should be doing it. Why? Now, why? Because I'm in a different season now. I done graduated from that. Pastor talked about the test, trial, tribulation. Been that. I done graduated. So now my blessings, my delivery, deliverance, it should come faster. So Jesus sends word. Tell them she's not dead. She's sleeping. Crystal, they laughed at him. Y'all hear a little turn water to wine boy talking? he talking about she sleeping. She dead, dog. Did you check her pulse? No pulse. No heartbeat. Nothing. She gone, y'all. She gone. So Jesus is like, okay, let me help. So I'm trying to help you understand. So Jairus now is like, why come? You didn't come when I asked you to come. And because you didn't come when I asked you to come, my daughter's dead. And now you're going to send word to she ain't dead, she just sleeping. You're not even here. And you're going to tell me she's sleeping. You ain't seen nothing. Listen, it says your daughter died. No need now to bother the teacher. Jesus overheard and said, don't be upset. Just trust me, everything's going to be all right. Going into the house, he wouldn't let anyone enter except for Peter, John, and James, and the child's parents. Everyone was crying and carrying on over her because y'all know how we get. Y'all know how we get. I understand, so I am not minimizing your hurt. Understand this. I am not minimizing nor making a mockery of your hurt. I'm saying sometimes we tend to be overly dramatic. Sometimes we put a little too much extra on top. We got to put some thick buttercream icing on top sometimes, and it's unnecessary. You're supposed to have pound cake, no icing. Y'all want them snacks. Man, I'm going to have to include in our budget some snacks. I'm going to have to pass some snacks around, man. I have a packed church. Lord have mercy. So everybody was crying and carrying on over her. And he said, don't cry. She didn't die. She's sleeping. What? You come over here with that spiritual mumbo jumbo. She's talking about she ain't dead. She sleep. They laughed at him because they knew she was dead. You laughed at Jesus. Jesus says, she's not dead, she's sleeping. You're right. Go in there and look at her. Put your finger beneath her nose. Then Jesus gripped her hand and called and says, my dear child, get up. And she was up in an instant, up and breathing again. And then he told him, give her something to eat, because she like y'all. She wanted a snack. I know she hungry. She been dead, y'all. You know she hungry. What do dead people do when they come back to life? They got to eat. Y'all know what we do when somebody died. Everybody go to the funeral and they trying to find the repast. Why? At the repast, that's where you eat. So they had food already prepared, Anisha, because she was dead. So they were like, we're going to have the funeral, then repast. We're going to have the food right here. Who got the chicken? Who made the fried chicken? Who made the potato salad? She made the potato salad? Don't eat that potato salad. Don't eat that potato salad. You know, so-and-so. What color is it? What color is it? It look too yellow? That's got too much mustard in it. Too white? Oh, that's too much mayo. I can't do that. You're going to have my stomach hurting at this repast. So, if Jairus would have had the right perspective about his waiting to begin with, then maybe he wouldn't have freaked out, flipped out, simply because Jesus didn't respond when he wanted him to. Maybe if you learned how to wait properly on God, you wouldn't freak out, trip out, have panic attack, anxiety attacks, be depressed, be doing all these other things because you see other people progressing and God says, you just need to wait. Problem is, we're like, okay, how long I need to wait? I don't know, since I'm in control of time. I don't know. We'll see. Listen, anybody here with children know that's the worst thing to do to a child. You tell them we going somewhere, they're like, so when? And you be like, later. They're like, no, like when? I'll tell you when. So they're going to come back to you every 30 minutes. We going to go now? No. Listen, are we gonna go now? Are we gonna leave? Mom, is it time to go? Mom, is it time to go? Mom, Dad, can you tell Mom? Hey, are we should go? Okay, it's been like 2 hours already. When are we leaving? Where are we going? When are we going? Where are we going? When are we gonna get there? When are we gonna get there? We're gonna make it there. Are we gonna stop? Are we gonna eat? I'm hungry. My stomach hurt. My back hurt. My head hurt. Shut up! Sit down. Shut up. I have a no talking rule in my car. Don't talk. Don't breathe. Don't move. Go to sleep. Rest your eyes. Because you have an inability to wait. Is it possible that you don't know how to wait a minute? Because sometimes you say, hold up, wait a minute. Okay, has it been a minute? Wait a minute is metaphorically speaking. It doesn't mean actually a minute for all my exacting people. So wait a minute could be a year. Wait a minute could be 5 years. Wait a minute could be 10 years. Wait a minute can be 12 years.
That's real. Talk about it.
What's a minute to God? So is it possible in this season of your life that, Yvette, you got a waiting problem? It needs to happen today. And God says, no. And then you say, well, when? When it's time. And then, Mike, what you prayed for, you see someone else now getting what you prayed for that you don't think they deserve it because they ain't been waiting as long as you. How unfair is that, God? Why would you do me like that? Why would you make me, torment me, torture me, for me to sit and watch someone else get what you know I've been praying for? Oh, I hope I'm talking to somebody. I prayed, God, that my father would live. They prayed that their father would live. My father died. Their father lived. But I've served you faithfully. Why would you do that, God? Why would you heal this person of cancer that's barely a believer But I've got a relative that's been serving you their whole life, and I prayed for them to be healed from cancer, and you did not heal them. God, why would you do that to me? God, you understand the challenges my child has and the stress it's adding on my life. Why would you not, God, fix it right now? But you're making me wait, God. I don't want to wait. Because in this waiting, Jasmine, it allows my mind too much time to want to run and wonder. Because when I'm waiting, I'm also thinking about all the possibilities of what if. And now I've gone away from the blessings of God to this is a curse. And now I want to curse God. Simply because I don't have an understanding of what's going on when I'm waiting. It's tough to wait when you have no information. Listen, I apologize in advance to all the telephone operators out there in the world that when I call your place and you put me on hold and you start playing your little music, and then you come on and you be like, sir, just want to let you know we'll be with you just one moment. Please enjoy the music while you wait. Listen, we're experiencing a heavy call volume today. We're going to be with you shortly. You're so important to us. Please hold. Unfortunately, we have a higher call volume today than expected. If you would leave your name and number, we'll be sure to get back with you within 24 to 48 hours. No. You don't understand. I called today because I had a problem today. If I wanted a solution in 24 to 48 hours, I would have called 24 to 48 hours from now, but I didn't call 24 to 48 hours from now. I called today because I had needed a solution to my problem today, not tomorrow. So what do you do, Leah, when you served, sacrificed, submitted, and the blessings of God seems to be on hold in your life while everybody else keeps getting their breakthrough? Psychologically, how do you handle that? Because it seems, God, so I ain't saying that I don't trust you, but I am saying right now I feel like you're not fair. I am saying that our relationship status right now is complicated. I love you, but I'm having a hard time. Am I helping anybody? Waiting is difficult. Listen, I want you to stand to your feet. I'm done. One of the most difficult things for me to do is to wait. I don't like waiting. And a virtue of maturity in the kingdom is learning how to wait. Because I don't want anything in a season that God doesn't want me to have it. I want what God has for me when he has it for me.